when it was time to go to school, how did you get to school?
Walked. Who didn't?
How far did you have to walk to school?
We only had to walk a mile and a half, a little more than a mile, from where you live now.
So, like, did you walk all as a big group? Or?
Well, everybody. You'd collect. By the time you got there, you had a big pile coming up the road, a lot of kids. And then in the summertime, you went crossways sometimes.
Through the fields?
You went through the fields because it was shorter, because this way you had to go all the way down to the corner and around, And sometimes you went crossways and went through the fields, which wasn't always the best thing to do because we all went over a barbed wire fence.
Yeah.
But then I was almost in 8th grade, and the fence broke, and it got me on the bottom of my leg. So I have a scar for about 12 inches down my leg.
Oh, yes, and you really told Grandma about that one,
Which
didn't
I
you?
didn't tell my mother about until a couple of days later, and she caught me because I wore long stockings to go to school. And then she was so mad, she said, well, if you get tetanus or if you got lockjaw by now, it's too late. So I didn't get to go to the doctor, so I still have my scar down my leg.
You were up at school for how long? How many years were you up at the Holy Cross School? 8th grade. And then where'd you go?
Then we went to Pete's University.
And where was
Schaefer? He had the 9th grade down in the village.
Where was that at?
Well, it's the Legion Hall now, but right in the village. And then we went there for the 9th grade, and then after that we went to high school in Fond du Lac, or wherever we went to Fond du Lac, to senior high, Fond du Lac High. But he had 9th grade. Well, he had regular classes, and then bathroom was out in a little outhouse. There was nothing inside, and the water bubbler was a jug, with a thing on, because there was no bubbler in it. And that's how you got your drink. That was filled up, and you got that. If you had to go to the bathroom, you went out the back.
Like, did he teach everybody the same thing?
Yeah, well, at that time it was, I think we all had
just the 9th.
I think it was just 9th grade. So you'd have your English, you'd have your regular classes, your English and your geometry. No, not the geometry. We had algebra. And then all the other classes that you normally would have in 9th grade.
Mm-hmm. Did they have books for you then?
Yeah,
they provided all the books
had
and
books.
everything?
Now, who bought them, I don't know. If it was, obviously it had to be the village, I suppose, or the people that supplied the books, because we all had books. Mm-hmm. And I know my brothers and we all went there for the 9th grade. And then we just had your normal noon hour, the same thing as at high school. You had your hour classes for it, and you had your recess, and you played ball. And we had baseball things. A lot of times things went on in Pete's University. That poor Pete, I kind of feel sorry for him now when I think about it. Or you would go out to the back where the lavatory was, or the outdoor toilet, and one day they set off a firecracker in the back there, and then opened up the door and walked right in. I mean, how stupid could you be? I mean, it had to be you that set the firecracker off. You went in with the smoke.
You went very conspicuous, is that what you...
And poor Pete.